Hello, 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 everybody. It is Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m., and everybody knows what this means. It is Tuesday tea time here at Catch Your Breath 60. My name is Barbara Moore, and we go live every Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock, so feel free to join me. We talk mainly about COPD and the comorbidities that come with it. And today, I would like to share with you my 10 tips for dealing with COPD. I was diagnosed back in 2015 with probably level 3 or stage 3 COPD. I'm good. How are you, Karen? Hi, Fred. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Janice. So today we're going to talk about my 10 tips for dealing with COPD. I was diagnosed in 2015, and my COPD, I quit smoking right away, but my COPD progressed. And it has now gone into stage 4. Hi, Emily. Nice to have you join us today. So tip number 1, we want to talk about pacing your exertion. So the one thing that we know is that COPD is a degenerative lung disease. It's not going to get any better, but exercising will help it to control it a bit. We know that we have to exercise. We have to exercise our heart and our lungs. But we don't have to do it fast. When you look at videos, even of people who are, if it's for seniors and people who are, in the golden years, as most of us are, you'll see them doing it very, very quickly, like up and down and everything, right? And I've seen respiratory therapists doing it. But for us, any fast motions that we have like that are never good. So pacing your exertion is extremely important. It does a couple of things for you. It helps you to be successful and to get her done, right? So we have to exercise upper body to in order to hold our compromised lungs. We have to exercise lower body for cardio and to make our legs strong enough so that we can move around. Pacing on your exertion. Learning to control the breath. Now, this is a really hard thing for us to do, to actually learn to control our breath. We're going to talk about this in some tea times to come. I learned through respiratory rehab. I was one-on-one with a respiratory therapist, and he kept saying to me, "You're not doing it right. You're not breathing right." And I thought, what is it? What is it with you? Like, I can breathe. I've been breathing like for 60 years. And he said, "Yeah, but you're doing it inefficiently." So he taught me how to do abdominal breathing. And with practice, it became my go-to when I was short of breath. Before that, I was inefficiently breathing, short inhales and short exhales. So the one thing that we want to do is to learn to control your breath. Planning your days in advance. Very important. The days of getting up and leaving the house and, throwing on your shoes and leaving the house, those days are gone. And likely those days are not going to be coming back. So in order to be successful when you're trying to be active, plan your days in advance. So if I'm going out Friday, I'm thinking about it all week. I'm not making appointments that are too early in the morning. I am getting my clothes ready one day, knowing what I'm going to wear. Is it clean? Does it need ironing? Um, do I have the proper shoes? Do I have the proper pants? What's the weather going to be? And the day before, I'll take my bath or my shower or whatever. So that makes it easier for me to get out that day. It takes away a lot of the anxiety that I would normally feel with having to go out. And I find that this is the only way that I can actually get out through the day. Using pursed lips. We all know we should be using pursed lips. How do you do that? Well, what they mean by pursed lips is inhaling shortly and exhaling for twice as long through pursed lips. Why do we do this? We do this because it's easier to exhale because our condition is obstructive. It means it can't get in or out. So air gets trapped, especially when you have emphysema, air gets trapped. And when air gets trapped in there, it means that you can't get it out. If you can't get the breath out, you can't get a breath of fresh air in. And so once we understand this, we understand better that using pursed lips will allow you to take a short breath in and exhale twice as long as you inhale. So you would be doing pursed lip breathing like this. In for 2, out for 4. And what that does is it leaves it open in your throat so that you can get a little bit more air out. And if you practice pursed lip breathing when you're short of breath, it will really, really help you because it's getting all that trapped air out. Acknowledge your condition. You have this condition known as COPD. It's not going to get any better. It's going to get progressively worse. And we all know that, anybody who was diagnosed at some time in the past knows that they are worse today than they were that day that they were diagnosed. And so acknowledging your condition allows you to orate it with other people, acknowledging that you have, because when we have secrets, we keep these secrets from people to no avail. It serves no purpose to keep it from people. So acknowledging your position means that you have accepted it, and that you can orate to others what it is and what you need, and never, never, never apologize for acknowledging your condition. Find a hobby that excites you. So I have a mini garden here, and I absolutely love it. I like to garden outside all summer. I don't do a lot of it. My husband does most of it, but I point and he does. So that being the case, this allows me to have some nice plants inside, and mostly for succulents, and I absolutely love them. Every time I buy one, I think, oh, I've got to propagate because, I love having them. They make me happy. And so this is something that I can put my time into that is not COPD related. And that's the trick, right? So find something that your hands and your mind keep busy with, something that's not COPD related. And it's hard for us, right? It's hard because we have a hard time acknowledging our condition, and therefore we can't get past it, right? But think about knitting, crocheting, embroidery, all of those things that you can do with your hands. Even if you have, like me, arthritis in your hands, you still can do it. Maybe not as much as you used to be able to do, but you still could do it, right? And now's a great time to think about it, because anything that you do now, you can give away for Christmas presents. Christmas is right around the corner. And so search for a hobby that excites you and stick with it. Find a doctor who will work with all of your specialists as a team. I just, my husband and I just got a new GP, general practitioner. We haven't had a GP since COVID started, and our doctor left it in the hands of somebody who was absolutely not present at all. And I really needed a doctor who would be there for me, who I could rely on, who would give me the answers that I was looking for. And, 2.5 years is a long time for us to go without a doctor, not only because of COPD, but also because, our age, right? So we really do need, the first thing I said to my doctor when I walked in there was, if you are willing to work with my pulmonary specialist and my cardiologist, then I will take you on. And otherwise, I'll just keep searching. And last week, when I went for my gouty arthritis here, I've got gout in my finger, if you can imagine. He wanted to put me on a regimen of medication for my gout. And my cardiologist said, absolutely no, you can't do that. So it was really good. It was really good, because otherwise it's trial and error, right? Let's try this. Remember that your doctor is practicing, so he doesn't know everything. He's still learning, and he will learn all his life. Help him to do that, or her. So search for a doctor who will work with your team. Find your tribe. One of the first things I said after I was diagnosed and I got home from the hospital, and I said to my daughter, I don't find a lot of information. Now, this was in 2016, or 15, so it was a little while ago, but, I don't think it was just me. I think that there just wasn't a lot of information. And she said to me, you know what, you're right. Because she's pretty savvy on the computer, and so is my son-in-law and my boys. And she said, people really need somebody to help them. So be that person. And so Catch Your Breath 60 was born. I was diagnosed at 60 years old, and that's where the 60 came from. But find your tribe. Go to Facebook. Find in the search bar, type, something about COPD. You can just put COPD there and see what comes up that would pique your interest. These groups that are there, and it's not just on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on YouTube. I have moved to YouTube, so we're here as well. And what it does is it gives me some place to go to vent safely. It's a safe environment because these groups are private. And so my kids and my husband don't go on there and read those posts. So I can vent without repercussions coming back to me, if you will. Find somebody that you can connect with, whether it's a person or a group. Talk to your doctor about what he has to offer you. There's lots out there. There's lots out there these days. And you also might want to talk to your drug company. AstraZeneca has been very good to me, although I'm not promoting their products. They have been very good to me, and they're interested in what I have to say. And So find somebody, find your tribe, your commonality, and be social about your condition and your future with them. Make an effort to thank those that aid you. It doesn't matter if, if your son only shows up once every 2 or 3 months for 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. Thank him for thinking about you. Thank him for um, uh, popping in, whatever it is. If he has to come and eat, he has to come and eat, whatever it is. But thank those that aid you. So my caregiver is my husband, and my kids. My daughter and my sons are very good to me. And I think, I thank my husband all the time. I think by the end of the day, I've probably said it 40 times. It never gets old, and he never gets tired of hearing it. So always thank those people that help you, whether it's vacuuming a floor or washing a toilet bowl or whatever it is, whether it's, rubbing your back when you're short of breath, whatever it is, make sure that you thank them and that they know. One of the things that I like to do with my husband, because I say thank you to him all the time. But what I like to do is to wait until he's just out of ear reach and say to whoever's in the room, he's doing a really good job taking care of me. I don't know what I'd do without him. And he hears it, right? And that spurs him to kind of do a little bit more. So it's a selfish thing, right? But anyways, I do it. Finally, number 10, when you are asked to go beyond your means, ask yourself if this will matter on your deathbed. So I have 3 grandsons. Everybody knows about Hunter, but there's another 2 boys there, and I've talked about them a couple of times. And they are my son's stepchildren, I guess you would call them. And Hunter absolutely loves them. They love being here. And we took them all overnight on Sunday because Monday was a PA day for everybody. So we said, okay, let them all come. Let them come overnight. Let's see how it goes. And honest to God, it was a lot of work. And of course, my husband did most of it. But listen, I will never, ever regret having done it because I've created memories for myself. So when I'm not feeling well and when I'm laying down or when I'm kind of trying to pass the time, I think back to that, right? I'm sure that these are memories that the boys, all 3 of them, will think of in times to come. So that is my 10 tips for caring for your COPD. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you will subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you again this time next week.